Hello, everyone. It is your favorite time of the week. It is time for the Raw Smackdown Recap here on Unlimited. I am, of course, as always, Walter from Unlimited. He is Brett from Unlimited. How are you doing today, Brett?
I went and seen the WWE Superstars on Friday. Elias stole the show. He was very entertaining.
Did he insult Wayne Gretzky?
He insulted Connor McDavid. He said that Sidney Crosby was a lot better. Obviously I don't agree with that. And Elias, but I still thought it was hilarious. He called Canada like a third world country. Yeah, you know what? It was pretty good. But I gotta say, the match of the night, like the one that everyone in Edmonton was talking about. And these are some smart fans up in Canada, as you know. So they know their shit. We got a 30-minute fucking classic between Bobby Roode and Chad Gable and the Revival. It was an extraordinary match. I couldn't even believe it.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about house shows is like they're not really strapped for time on anything, so they could just be like, you guys get 30.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think anyone saw it coming. And there was just so many near falls and man, just good wrestling. So that was great. And I got my SummerSlam tickets. On Friday. So Walter, I'm doing great.
That is good. I am going to be getting my Survivor Series tickets within the next day or two. Because even though they're not supposed to be on sale till I think next week or the week after, I was able to, via a quick online search, get the pre-sale code.
Look at that. So they're already going on sale, hey?
Well, they do. They have the four-pack tickets, which I don't want to do. Don't want to take the drive 4 days in a row. I'm not about that life.
How drive is it? Just curious.
It's only about an hour, but
4 days in a row.
Yeah, especially. Okay, let's say Friday. I want to get there by. It would be, I'd say 6:30. That would be going through major city, the remnants of major city rush hour traffic. No, thank you.
That would suck.
But yeah, but they also have just the Survivor Series itself. So I'm going to do that, get NXT when they go on sale, and have myself a grand old weekend.
Smart. One thing you'll want to do, definitely do that pre-sale, because my experience up here in Canada, we had the option to buy a pre-sale 4-day pass. I have to fly to Toronto. I'm actually closer to Chicago than I am Toronto.
Yeah.
I have to fly to Toronto. So we wanted the 4-day pass. We passed up on a pre-sale option. I had a pre-sale option for 2 seats in the lower bowl. Didn't take it. So then Friday, we went to go buy tickets. I had, no joke, 10 people searching for my buddy and I. 10 people we had searching. Right at it opened at 8 in the morning. We got on there. Not one ticket worked. They kept getting snapped up. It was very, very fast. So you would click on a set of tickets. It would show that it was available, and they'd say, "Oh, sorry, someone beat you to it," and you'd have to go back to the goddamn back of the line.
Oh.
What I think it was is Ticketmaster bots, because I was C sections and seats, and then I checked StubHub right 3 minutes after, not even. And those same sections, those same seats were for sale for 1.5 times the face value. So for one show. So eventually I got lucky after the girl kept refreshing, and I got lucky 15 minutes into it. But like I said, I was so close to buying just for SummerSlam, $350 Canadian for that, and instead I got $450 all 4 shows. Lower bowl, 12th row, right on the ramp. So those fucking scalpers, man, you gotta watch out for them. Do you guys have Ticketmaster in the States, Walter?
Yes, we do, and it's a pain because, well, do they have the CAPTCHA things that like prevent the bots a lot of the time?
I didn't to do this. I didn't have to enter a capture.
Yeah, they Ticketmaster US. You have to enter CAPTCHA before you go and go for tickets.
Oh my! You know they got to fix it. They got to fix it. I can't.
Yeah, and that's the easiest thing to do because a bot can't put in
Yeah.
the CAPTCHA.
You know what? Part of me wonders if Ticketmaster wants it because they know the scalpers will buy it, and then it guarantees.
Right.
Right? Because Ticketmaster makes their money in the fees, right? They don't make their money in like the actual markup.
Right.
Go. So all their ticket fees, that's where they make the money. So to them, you wouldn't necessarily give a shit who you're selling it to. You just want to get the most amount of fees, and you do that.
Yeah.
So, oh, it drives me crazy. But anyways, I got lucky. I'm glad I did. Others, if you didn't, I feel bad because it's shitty. But it's been a good week, Walter. How's your week been?
It's been a pretty good week. Good, okay Raw, good Smackdown.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan of the end of Smackdown.
We're gonna get to that.
Yes, we are. All right, so let's kick off with the headlines, which the biggest one, Kurt Angle's retirement match, Baron Corbin. Your thoughts?
I'm fine with this. So over the past couple of weeks here, I've been saying, well, Baron Corbin, he's growing on me. He's growing on me. I'm finally seeing like his worth as a heel, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, at the live show, he really stood out. He really stood out. And I think to stand out at those shows, you got to be pretty good. And he had the whole crowd just wanting to kill him. And he had the whole crowd wants to kill him now. So bring it on. It'll make for a very emotional match, especially if he wins.
Oh my God.
It's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. What about you? What did you think?
I'm a tad conflicted because first off, it makes storyline sense. Like, absolutely makes storyline sense.
Yeah.
But I also would have really liked to see Kurt in there with someone he had a lot of history with versus someone he just has some recent history with.
Like a Cena.
Like a Cena. Or I can't even think of anyone else.
Shelton Benjamin, maybe.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
Yeah. It is what it is. I think this is the most Kurt Angle thing he can do. You know, like him in a match against Cena, to me, it's like, well, like neither guy needs that match. In this event, like Corbin could really like take the ball here and run with it. So,
oh yeah,
definitely worth. I'm very, very happy with it.
Yeah, and then another headline: U.S. title match official. In just a backstage promo, there had been no build to this. We're getting Joe versus Ray.
Mm-hmm. Ron Mysterious, as I call him, is one of my favorites. And the dude can wrestle, and he's been killing it. I wouldn't be surprised to see this last minute get changed into something more. But if it is just Joe and Mysterio, that's going to be a good show.
Oh yeah, I've wanted to see them do that for a while. And yeah, they set that up backstage segment. They were interviewing Ray, and Ray brought in Dominic, who's like twice his size at this point. And yeah, Joe Ray, United States title, that ought to be fun. And other headlines. Drew challenging Roman like outright challenging Roman. And Brett's back after his mysterious disappearance.
Sorry, the girlfriend left something in the room, fiance, and when nature calls, you got to go give her her thing. It's one of those vape devices. She needs it, man. It's her nicotine. She gets it.
I mean,
she gets the vape.
I can understand that, being as But anyway, first off, nice Marty Skrull shirt.
Thank you. I like this shirt. It's a nice shirt.
It is. Hope he wins the ROH title at the Garden.
Yeah, that would be an awesome. I can't wait for that show too.
Yeah, but yeah, McIntyre just going out there, ripping the entire Shield to shreds in a promo, like just coming off as just this unbeatable badass, challenging Roman Reigns, and closed it off with this beautiful line. You beat leukemia, but there's no way on the grandest stage of them all that you can ever beat me.
It was so good. This guy, man, you were right. I told you that. You were right. This guy, it's finally clicked for me. He's intense. I buy him. He is a psychopath.
Yeah. And his match with Seth was awesome.
It was fantastic. And
yeah,
I have to admit, it always drives me crazy, like the dumb baby face where they get distracted by the music. It always bugs me, but in this case, it served a good purpose.
Right.
So I was pretty entertained by it. McIntyre, man, he's on the scene.
Yeah.
And you know what? Roman's gonna win. I'm sure of it.
Probably. You'd think.
What? If they gave Drew the win?
Oh my god! Especially if it was like squeaky clean.
That would be pretty damn great.
Like Roman's going for a spear and it's just intercepted with a fucking claymore.
Just knocks him clear. Oh yeah. No, that would be a damn good angle. You could, and it wouldn't hurt Roman.
No.
His first match back, right? Like it.
Right.
Or not. You know what I mean.
First, big singles match back.
Exactly. What else happened?
The Iconics beat Sasha and Bayley.
Oh man, they love to do to beat the champs in a non-title match.
Right.
What do you think? I missed this a little bit apart. I just heard that they won. Were there any implications that came?
Not really, but there was always the implied on commentary, if they win, they might be in line for a title shot.
Okay. What could happen?
Yeah. I was talking with our illustrious overlord Matt Meffy yesterday, and he suggested something that I think they very well could do, and that's tag team turmoil.
That would be pretty entertaining.
Like have Sasha and Bayley, and then Nia and Tamina and Beth and Natalya and the Iconics, and throw in Io Shirai and what's her face from NXT, the pirate.
Oh no, who? Oh, Kairi Sane.
Yes. Throw those two in there.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would, and you know what? Gets more people on the show. They love to do that, right? They love
right.
to do that. So yeah, no, I think that, and that would make that match a lot more interesting because I could buy quite a few of those teams actually winning. So, yeah.
Yeah, and really the last headline, we're officially getting the Andre Battle Royal. because that's all they have for Braun to do.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. Braun deserves more. He doesn't really get utilized at Mania to the best.
Right? Like his last two are going to be in a battle royal that's probably going to be on the pre-show, and a tag team match with a 10-year-old.
And you'll have some segments with those SNL guys. But how can I put this? I think Vince sees this guy as more of like an attraction. So I don't think Vince is concerned at all with him not being in matches or not having like a match at
right.
big match. Because I think if that's why he flips over cars and it's always just an attraction. Like Elias, Vince doesn't give a shit that he doesn't have a match at Mania. Why would that matter? Because he's just gonna sing. That's how Vince views this stuff.
And here's how I think the Elias segment should go, and it would be a big deal for Elias. So you have him, you go in there, he's ripping New York to shreds, and then gong. Taker comes out, drops him with a tombstone.
That would be great.
And then just think of the rub Elias gets there, because not just anyone gets to be in the same ring with Undertaker at Mania.
That's for damn sure. That would be awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I'd freak out. That would be the coolest.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to, then Taker doesn't have to do like a match, right? I think we're
right. Just one spot, boom.
Show up, mess someone up, That's all he needs.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great.
In the final headline, Kofi runs the gauntlet, sort of. He gets through everyone. Beats Orton at the end. They're celebrating. And then Vince is like, well, that was impressive, but you got one more, pal. And out comes Daniel Bryan. Kofi, it looked like he nearly knocked himself out going for the SOS at one point.
Yeah.
And then just eats the running knee, pinned. I hate it. I think my biggest issue here is it's 2 weeks till WrestleMania, and you don't have the match for your most prestigious title set. What are you doing? What are you waiting for? You've put plenty of situations where you could get the same thing across that you're just trying to get across so bad, with all the obstacles and all the stuff where Kofi's the underdog. We get it. We're invested. Just make it official. Make him do the one last thing. This week should have been the one last thing. They shouldn't have to have him do anything more, because there's no reason to.
Walter, I'll tell you, there is a reason why you do this. Can I tell you what it is?
Yes, please.
You do it because it's entertaining. It's part of the journey, because Kofi Kingston is not an ordinary man, Walter Main. Kofi Kingston is an extraordinary man. And an extraordinary man can't walk an ordinary sort of struggle, which is what winning the right to win the title in 3 weeks would do, okay? He needs an extraordinary struggle, okay? He needs Vince McMahon to keep throwing hurdles in his way, like King Kong throwing barrels. Donkey Kong throwing barrels. Donkey Kong, he wasn't throwing 3 barrels and saying, okay, you're in like a month ago. He was throwing barrels after barrels after barrels trying to mess with Mario. And that's what's happening here. Kofi Kingston is struggling every single week. It is an elite struggle. but he will get there, Walter. It will mean so much more at WrestleMania. That is my thesis. Thank you.
I get where you're coming from, but I just don't see what else they could have him do to get the match, because he's beaten Bryan twice. He's beaten literally probably everyone else on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see what they do next week or the week after to get him in that spot.
Occupy SmackDown. they do something extraordinary. SmackDown has been delivering every single week for the past number of months. I'm going to have faith that they pull this out and make it. I'm already liking it. Vince McMahon, I'm liking it. Show me what you do next week that brings it all together. Then I'm good. That's all I want. That's all I want. Trust SmackDown. Trust
okay, I'll try. For you.
Let's give it one more week.
Okay.
After next week, we got 3 SmackDowns to go, right?
It would be next week and the week after.
Oh my God, we only got 2. Okay.
Yeah, I had that realization this week. Like, Jesus Christ, it's like right around the corner.
Give it one more week, and
Right.
then if you're not happy, then you still have one more SmackDown to be angry. Give it one more week. I think next week we get something. The whole show will kind of have that storyline thread through it.
Okay.
I suppose. I mean, we could keep arguing about it.
No, it would just be like in circles.
I think if this whole Becky, Ronda, Charlotte thing was a little less all over the place, the Kofi story would be more accepted. I think we're kind of like, fuck, like we're already getting this convoluted story over here, and now we're getting another one. But
right.
I just think this isn't so much like, it's not like it's like bringing in these other lapping stories. It's kind of just challenge. I wish I could describe that better, but
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like even this week on Raw, right? Like Ronda's husband debuts, and it's like, oh, he's not bringing another person into it, and the refs union is against. Like, it's getting to the point of like, okay.
Are we going to have another thing like, what was it, 99, where they do a ref strike storyline?
Oh my God. We are almost getting to like 99 in terms of the Attitude Era was great, but it was overbooked. Everyone can
Yes. You didn't need to make a storyline out of the refs going on strike.
Like that abortion, like the Attitude Era was notorious for being overbooked. In a way, this almost reminds me, it's like harkening back to the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Any elements. But it does create compelling television to an extent, right? Well, I got to see how this freaking thing plays out, which beats how Raw was for some years in like 2009, where it was just like, this is boring, right? So, anyways.
Yeah,
let's move on. Was that our last headline?
That is our last headline. On to Great, Good, Bad, Ugly. For great, my great, I'll give it to the gauntlet match. You put that number of performers of that high caliber, give them the entire second half of a show, it's going to be good. And that gauntlet match was fantastic.
Yeah, that's that should be my grade as well. I'll say Drew McIntyre. I'll say his match was that whole segment. Well done segment. Bringing Lesnar back into the feud. Let's say the main event of Raw, but Drew McIntyre with his promo and his performance later that evening.
Yeah. I mean, That's a good pick too, which is why he gets my good for the week. I think Drew is having career performances recently. He's been killing it on the mic. He's been killing it in the ring. He's got a noticeable rise in confidence, and that really shows through.
My good. Well, it was convoluted. It's gonna sound ridiculous, but I did like that Ronda Rousey segment.
In a way, I did too.
It's convoluted, but I did it. I actually found it pretty entertaining.
Like when Dana Brooke caught her kick and just slapped her in the face, it was just like, oh, she's gonna die.
That armbar was visually, it looked pretty cool. Visually,
Yeah.
like
When I first saw that, I was like, they need to get someone off her in case she like actually breaks her arm.
Yeah, I actually really like that segment. So
Yeah.
that'd be my good. That was fun.
My bad for the week, I'll give to the fact that Nia interrupted a match by cutting a promo.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. My bad. I'll go to the KO show tonight. Becky didn't even say a word. I thought it was weird.
Yeah. I mean, there were parts of it that I liked. I liked the fact that he just had a tie, like nothing else formal, just a tie.
There were good parts, but I thought compared to what we've been getting,
overall it was really weird.
Yeah, just a step back.
Yeah.
My ugly was the Tamina thing.
Yeah.
That is ugly.
Yeah, that was awful.
Performance.
For my ugly, this is probably like the second time in 3 weeks this has happened, but it's gotta go to that moment of bliss segment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it led to just nothingness. Like, what are they doing? She's the best heel in the women's division.
I don't know. There's like, I think I told you a couple weeks ago. It's like, let's see it out. Let's try it out. Let's see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I hear what you're saying, man.
Yeah, like it's a gross misuse of someone who has a lot of talent.
She's good in the ring. She's healthy enough to wrestle, so it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
But again, maybe this is Vince McMahon. Like, I swear he values wrestling less than he's ever has, because he's fine with guys like not wrestling necessarily. And maybe this is the same thing with Alexa. You know, she doesn't need to. I don't know, but they're not working. I do agree with you.
Yeah. Well, from that, we move on to the stars of the week. My first star, I'm going to give to Drew McIntyre. I thought through his 2 segments on Raw, he did fantastic. He got the win over the number 1 contender and the guy who's probably walking out of WrestleMania as Universal Champion. He's on fire right now. He's my favorite part of Raw.
Yeah, easy to see that. I guess I'd have to say Drew number 1. I'll put Kofi second.
Yeah, I'd put Kofi second star as well. I thought he performed incredibly well in the gauntlet match. he has gotten so many people like so invested in him, and if he wins the title at Mania, that place is going to explode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one of those matches that you have to worry about anything that follows it.
Oh yeah, crowd's gonna be major hot for that. They might use that as an opener. That's not even a joke. That might be
because if I'm going by their logic, it's the women's title main eventing.
Yeah, I think
without question.
Yeah.
So you don't want to put it co-main event because then that could sabotage the women. You don't want to put it mid because then that'll sabotage the Universal title. So but if they open with it, like, that would give me such a sinking feeling that it's just going to be a straight up Bryan wins.
That would be, but hey, maybe they'll add to the intrigue of the match.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. I do think that it's possible considering the other matches they have planned. I do, like you said, I see the women. But anyways, third star. I guess I would say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to say it was this is such a cop out, but I'm just coupling them together. All the other dudes in the gauntlet match. I thought they all did a really good job of making
it.
I think the trophy was great. Particularly, I really liked Sheamus and Cesaro kicking off the match, and I thought Orton did fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, those uppercuts that Cesaro was throwing.
Yeah.
Were vicious.
It was great, so I'll give it to them.
Yeah. Third star. You know, I'm going to go a little unconventional here. I'm going to give it to Chad Gable. I thought he got a pretty good match out of Kurt. I thought he gave a really good showing for himself. And maybe it was because I just wasn't expecting it. I really enjoyed that match. It was fun.
It was a good match. And, it's been tough to watch Kurt.
Yeah, like, even during that match, like, his movements just aren't as fluid as they used to be, and you can tell he's in pain.
Yeah, it's sad. But I thought he had a really good match against Gable. And, I think I think he just might surprise us at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think him and Corbin just might be able to surprise us and pull it great.
Yeah. Which, after Mania, I wouldn't be against, like, Kurt being, like, a manager for Chad Gable.
Yeah, maybe. Manager, or I mean, maybe give him a little bit of time off and then bring him back, or
Yeah.
come back hot. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea. We can still talk.
Right.
No, I like that third star. I think that's a good choice.
Yeah. Now it is time for everyone's favorite part. The intrigue, the questions. What are you going to ask? How am I going to answer these questions? 3.
Give to thee these questions, answers 3. No, Walter, I have spent hours pontificating on these questions for the past 2 days. And Sunday bled into Monday, bled into Tuesday, which is why we're here. And I have prepared 3 questions for you. So, question number 1. Do you prefer the name WWF or WWE?
See, it's weird to think that in my fandom, there's been a longer time of it being called WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Because I first started watching it in, like, because I first discovered wrestling with WCW in around 97. And then, like, 98, I started discovering the WWF, Rock, Mankind, Austin, all that. And then only a few years after that, they changed to WWE. But, like, I guess I just have more fond memories of it being called the WWF.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, I agree. I have so many fond memories of WWF.
But then you think of, like, the short time that you were a fan of it with.
Well, you know what though? I spent my entire childhood from probably like age 3 till well, actually, I never stopped. So actually, I spent my
Right.
entire life. I watch a lot of 80s, a lot of 90s WWF. I love mid 90s, like 94. I know there was like that was the downtime. Like,
No, see, I can understand loving things in 94. If someone said, oh, I love the WWF in 1995, I'd be like, are you on crack?
Yeah, 95, 96. Yeah.
Ugh.
No, well, there was a couple decent moments in '96, but so
Yeah.
I grew up watching so much of that,
Right.
and even like for me, like I think of WWF and like I probably go to like '94 era first, and then '97, '98, '99, because that's kind of I grew up in that order,
Right.
and but I have more fond memories of WWF, but in practical terms, WWE I think sounds kind of like it's growing on me.
It rolls off the tongue better.
Yeah, it does. WWE. So,
Yeah.
question number 2, Walter. Okay, you've got unlimited money, my friend. Unlimited.
Okay.
Okay, but you can only, even with this unlimited money, you can only spend it on one show. Okay, you get flight, you get hotel, you can stay downtown, right next to the arena. You could do all the VIP tickets. You could probably even sit row 1. Okay, but you can only pick one of these events: Wrestle Kingdom, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble.
Oh my God. I'm probably the worst wrestling fan in the world for this, but immediately the first one eliminated is WrestleMania.
Oh my god.
Um, the Rumble's my favorite event every year, but like just on an outside of wrestling thing, I've always wanted to visit Japan. So that would give a reason there to Rumble.
He goes with the Rumble. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. But that's, you know what? If you love your show, you stick to it. I admire it.
Yeah.
Walter,
Rumble has always been just my favorite event every year.
I'm so happy you said that. That makes me happy. I'm so, because I threw that in there thinking I knew you liked the Rumble. So I thought, I wonder what he's going to, way to stick to your guns. Fantastic. Which city? Which city would you like to see the Rumble in?
Not Chicago. Been there a billion times. New York.
That'd be fun. That'd be very fun.
Yeah.
Question number 3. Walter Main, what is your favorite title belt design of all time?
The late 80s, early 90s Winged Eagle.
Oh, yes, that's a good belt. That's
Followed very closely by the one that came directly after that.
Yes. Okay, no, which one?
The one that Austin, Rock, Triple
Yes.
H.
Yes. Good one. That is your favorite? You have a
Yes.
second, you said that one. Do you have a third favorite? Secondary title?
The old school Intercontinental title design.
Classic. Classic.
followed closely by the WCW United States title. I thought that one was a really good looking belt too.
Oh man, I have two favorites. I really like the current WWE Champion belt, and I don't think it's nice, right? Like
it is. It's very nice.
They send that to like teams, and the teams like it that win the championship. So
right,
it's a nice looking piece of hardware. It's really like my favorite, and I think it's because I love the new logo so much too. So
it's so smooth. It
looks good. It looks awesome.
It does.
And then my second favorite title is the U.S. Championship Spinner one. I think it's like one of the nicest titles ever. I love the current United States Championship too. I love the flag and the belt. I think it's a beautiful belt.
And it's differently shaped than any belt they've ever had.
Yeah, even the other one was circular. I love it. So I love that belt, but I've loved the various iterations.
Yeah.
Cool. I would not have guessed your answer for that. I would have thought you might have picked Big Gold.
That one's up there. That one's definitely up there. But the two WWF title designs are definitely my two tops.
There you go. Those are the 3 questions, ladies and gentlemen. They were tough. If you have questions, though, please reach out to Matt Meffy at any time of the day. His DMs are open.
Here, let me give his personal cell phone number.
Yeah.
So, on to our final letter grades of the week for each show.
Yes.
Raw. I'll give Raw a C. It was okay. I liked the opening bit with Heyman and Lesnar and Seth. I even liked when Drew came out. I thought he was really impassioned. I liked Seth coming out to beat him down. I didn't like the camera work. That gave me a headache. Have you seen the video where someone and they didn't need to do that. Those chair shots looked good by themselves.
Kevin Dunn.
I am really hoping the rumors that the moment Triple H takes over, Kevin Dunn is just immediately fired are true.
I hope so too. I really hope so.
Yeah. But yeah, and then between that opening part and the main event, really nothing of note happened.
Yeah, there's Angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
I'll go with a C+ for your exact same reasons.
Yeah.
There were some good parts, but this just wasn't as good as some of the Raws we've seen. So
right. Smackdown gets an A.
I'll give it a B+.
Yeah.
Just because, that was a really good last hour. It's interesting. SmackDown will do that. Raw will never do that. But SmackDown will dedicate half their show to one.
Yeah. Raw did that once, and they've never even tried to do it again. Because I remember when Seth pulled the gauntlet thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they haven't gone back to that. And they should.
Yeah, or even, they remember back in the day, was it Cena and Michaels? Went out.
Yeah. That I remember watching that match.
Oh, it was.
That match was incredible.
That was that. Oh man! Actually, I want to go back and watch that now. But they don't do it very often anymore.
No, dedicating the entire last hour or last however long to just one thing.
And I think sometimes it's not a bad idea if you've got a strong enough story like this Kofi one is. You can do it, and then it kind of forces you to tighten up everything else before it. And
Right.
usually when they tighten up segments, the tighter the segments are, usually the better. Like not to an extreme, right? But it's when they
Right.
don't have to feel, oh, we're gonna take this 5 minute segment, it's gonna be 10. Like
Right. You're not stretching segments, you're somewhat condensing them.
yeah, exactly. No, yeah, B plus for me.
Yes. And that'll do it for the recap this week. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow as we watch a pay-per-view that this man was live in attendance for, as we live react and watch to Backlash 2004.
Yeah, it's this one watched live, never watched it again, so it's been 15 years. But I remember it very vividly. So we'll see. This was a great show.
Yes, and I think you're going to have a lot of unique insight into it.
Yeah, it's I sat I sat row one of the lower bowl, so I wasn't on the floor, but I was row one of the lower bowl.
So you were like the last row before floor seats.
Yeah, exactly, and but elevated a little bit, like 2 feet off the ground, because it was the start of the hockey seating.
Yeah.
So I remember getting one hell of a view of this match or this pay per view. And
Yeah.
we'll get into it tomorrow, but that Randy Orton Mick Foley match,
Oh man.
I was only 10 for that. And
No.
I still remember all of it. It was the most visceral thing. So we'll have fun talking about
Yes. So until next time, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter links are down in the description box below. Until next time, we will see you all later.